stuck between who I am and who I ought to be. So as I continue to grow and change with the times, I constantly revisit the question of, who am I? Firstly, I was raised by the streets. My mom was at work, my father's an absentee. I'm a broken puzzle that didn't come with all the pieces, so I don't feel complete. But with the pieces I have, I use to form up are my boundaries, but that only means there's spaces within me that are empty. I think that's why I found fulfillment in PoeTree. Because no matter how empty I am, these pieces can make other people feel complete. But who am I really? Well, an activist is what they labeled me. Based off the fact that I may struggle PoeTree, I call myself the rose that grew from the concrete. But that's a vague statement. The people deserve something more concrete. There must be a better way to describe me. I call myself D-E-O. In Latin, it means G-O-D. How arrogant can one guy be? It's complicated. And no, I don't got a God complex, but a little bit of God I got left in me is complex. I was raised by the convict to deliver the message. I am the context. Spreading knowledge that makes direct pipelines from schools to prisons into legitimate occupation. I am the sport within the wheels that is the system. Breaking generational curses so it won't affect the next generation. Translation. I ain't your baby daddy, but I do raise your kids. Infecting their brain with hope that kickstarts their imagination. It might not seem like much, but it's something for them to believe in. Obstructing their visions of their current surroundings, so they may not want to be the same, but to be better. I am Simba, who's no longer afraid to face his scar. With every performance I give my heart. On the stage and mic is like the moment pepper. And when I'm under my phone, I put up a tatter. I am.
Bring it back, bring it back.
I am Simba, who's no longer afraid to face his scar. With every performance I give my heart. And this stage and mic is my Timon and Pumbaa. And when I'm on them, I found my Akuna Matata. I am V for Vendetta. The words that accompany a black face are a mass of Guy Fawkes. These symbols don't gotta see a word, because I see a lot. Wherever there's oppression, I'm there advocating for it to stop. And to those who fight against my rights, I'll be Aaron Yeager, genocide with pen and paper. I will back this world. I'll be Aaron Yeager, genocide with pen and paper. I will flatten this world to free my people. Does that make me evil? Is it evil to fight for survival in a world built by people that rather you dead? This dialogue plays repeat in my head. Why must I constantly be attentive on the attack that yearns for freedom? But then I heard the voices of the past generation, and I know exactly why I was placed in this situation. I am the reincarnation of Shango, destined to die for a cause that most people don't even deem fighting for. I am grandson of Harriet Tubman. My throat be the underground railroad that leads back to the sea that my ancestors drowning, because they knew death was better than slavery, so they choked their flesh to keep their spiritual freedom. I am spiritual child and the Dragon Buster, nephew to Mandela. In the past, like me and Rosa Parks was neighbors. My uncle's body holds the spirit of Malcolm X. He prepared me for this fight. He constantly tells me I'm up next. Horace, give me my third eye for my inheritance. That's why inside of my head is built like a pyramid. Pyramid is a sarcophagi of my dead homies. They remind me that every day I walk with my genius, rebellion in my lineage. It enables me to feel powerful and deep down I know I'm weak. To seek justice rather than equality, to know the difference between equality and equity, and apply that every time I make my stance in society. So even if I fight until they convict me, to always stay true in my convictions. So in conclusion, I am the rose that grew from the concrete, whose roots of lignum vitae runs deep as they spread through the streets, telling stories of everyday problems in society that others refuse to acknowledge. But me, I poke it with a stick, not the role I chose, but the one I inherit. Didn't you hear? My ancestors used to get slave masters sick, making me the type of boy that flushes while it's still sitting on the toilet, because I just can't stand to see shit. I vessels eyes from whom it belongs. Writing songs that we sing as we march our way back into Eden. That we chant as we march our way to freedom. Who am I? Don't you get it? I am Dio, the poet. Sitting, thinking, boy can elevate. Where the crime rate in Barbados starts to escalate, where others get drunk or high, I just meditate. Every day it feels that my spirit's gonna break. Because this medicated mentality is wrong. No high could balance these lows. No amount of liquor could drown these sorrows. World global depression's whole girls in a chokehold. Some rise above, others break and fall. Few stoop low, selling crap by the boatload. Or maybe weed by the pound. Stuck in the mud, they'll do anything that come above ground. They tired of being broke for so long. Their favorite history is poverty. It's their favorite hand-me-down. Next to this nappy Afro crown. But this time, it gonna be different. You see, this time, he has a vision of being a reverse mason. He's selling bricks to build a house. These fiends be rocks stuck in his trap. He snatches cheese out their mouth, stuff it in his pocket. From others don't fall, he profits from a distance. I watch it. I'm not stuck in his trap, so I kept quiet. But then, he crossed me. One altercation left my heart heavy. They disagreed over some money. Two colored boys stuck in their 20s. He reached for his 40. Mirror image weak, so putting the trigger was easy. He put my brother's body in the ground. Loyal to the system, police threw their dog to the pump. They gave him back his chains for shooting my brother down. My first thought was, God, what's gonna happen to his son? I felt like a nigga, wanted to pick up a weapon. That's when I realized schools never taught us how to stand up to a system. Woo! They never taught us how to deal with pain. With all the stars inside they try to team. No talk in class or all the eat stand up straight and praise. Schools taught us how to be proper slaves. Made every black boy cut his hair. What's here has no answer, but they don't care. Man, this ain't ever fear. Black boys killing black boys by the way of the gun. What a school system teaches us how to hate our own complexion. It's not complex. And this island black skin is shunned. Looking through social media, you can always find a post about a red woman. Our black boys with a million pictures showing their like skin face. It's sick how we praise the race. Who stole all that custom and cultures from blacks? Man, maybe we just trying to steal it back. But with all the disadvantages, the sister never cut him some slack. His dad split, mama was on crap. His stomach grumbling, so he found himself a purse to snatch. He ran. Police called him, he took a baton to the back. They beat a kid who's starving and hungry with no father figure and a zombie for a mummy. You really think he could grow to trust the police? Please. No, he got protection, a trigger to squeeze. 18 years old with a kid, he got another mouth to feed. He robbed out like a store to put his mind at ease. You see, pain? Pain's a kind heart's disease. Destroying kindness slowly, leaving ice blocks where hearts used to be. That's why most of these blocks be filled with kids with ice hearts, because through their life they experience pain from the very start. They're doing bad deeds for good causes. No, they can't tell good and bad apart. He got a lot of stuff on his plate. He's trying to tell the toilet but it ran away. Want the pressure his mental state. He's one decision away from raising the murder rate. But his friends call him soft with every confession. Like, bottling his emotions will lead to depression. Like, feeling helpless won't give way to frustration. Like, feeling frustration won't lead to acts of aggression. But this world won't condone his actions, not even if it's responsible for them. No, he's overthinking the solution, but overthinking only leads to confusion. You tell me what he's supposed to do. We're robbing at liquor store, provides food, and he know jail or grave is where it concludes. Nothing seems right. Where does he apply the tools? But September comes. He gotta send his daughter to school. His head hot, so no robbing a bank is cool. He hit the block, found himself a trusty crew. He hit at a liquor store. Police caught one of the fools. 10 years the time, if they give him the leader, they'll divide the time by 2. A loyal dog turned snake and rat. Who would have knew? No, he's stuck in a cell block, he's screwed. Who's gonna provide for his daughter? No one has a clue. Her mom works 3 jobs and still can't afford to sit her. She's frustrated that anytime she misbehaves, she'll hit her. Joining late shifts, she stays with his crackhead mommy. She's doped up, so no one's there to supervise her properly. Until mama got a boyfriend who started treating her nicely. One day he came into her room and started acting funny. He told her to remove all her clothes, even her panties. She said no. He started doing it forcefully. Only 13, he took her virginity. Only 13, he took her virginity. And that's not even the worst part of this story. For the next 5 years, he put this night on repeat. She grew tired of the hell, tired of the misery. She went to his uncle, asked us to apply some heat. The next time he touch her, he's going to be history. Night comes, she's plotting his surgery, trying to find the whole spineless this coward can be. He reached for her, she reached for it, giving 2 in his belly. 2 in each hand, screaming, how dare you touch me? She put the gun to his head and squeezed it until it was empty. The neighbor heard the shots and called the police. Now she's on the run, struggling to find some food to eat. She turned to prostitution to get some money. The one job she don't got a show ID. It's no different from being back home. She's back to misery. At night, he still touches her and her memories. One night she's begging, she's on her knees. She asks God for help, but no one answered. So she put the gun to her head. Finally, she'll be free. Feel free to admire my art and salute my portrait. For the people in ghettos, this is reality. The story is based off of people they knew. The pain is real and the stories are true. The deeper the seed is buried, the more dirt it has to go through. That's why most seed that were planted in ghettos never grew. I bring this to this stage hoping to get through to you. Listen to my poetry. One story, 3 pound of views. I've been through a mental car crash. My brain mangled and twisted, pushed in ways that caused it to break. Brakes never seemed to work on wet roads watered by insecurities or wreckage of a society that turns young men into monsters. Wolves, trying to fit in grandparents' clothes in the woods. I've never seen little reds that my soul couldn't frighten, pushing their heads under hoods, keeping them only, delivering cake and wine, seeking only to devour their flesh. I've been scared of their potential. How could I have known that my surroundings were poisonous if that's all I ever knew? I grew, breathing poison air, eating poison fruit. How do I touch something without making it poisonous? What am I worthy of? When I play hide and seek with my own reflection, unable to stomach myself, how can I ask others to stomach me? I've been apple, bitten by Eve's, making her feel unworthy in her own beautiful garden. What is I that stagnates her surroundings? The serpents have taught me words to sweep her off her feet, lay her in a casket of see-through promises, never said with my 12 pieces of silver tongue. But my actions are golden, making her feel that the grass is greener in the hell that I'm about to put her through, and then use her feelings as tools to screw with her emotions, twisting terrible truths. I said I would never lie to you, so I tell fairy tales of novels, submitting short stories, claiming to suck at summaries. Do you know how many actions? Do you know how many times I've tricked Snow Whites with actions and compliments as I disguise myself as something she needs, like a comb or corset when I'm a woodcutter, So all I could truly give her is wood. And when she asks for feelings, I get deep. About 9 inches, well 8. You see, you're gonna leave room for brass balls big enough to date her best friend. After I play with her insecurities, I put this whole game on repeat until I found myself a queen. The tales I told of her beauty, forcing me to gut the wolf within that once hunted women, becoming her huntsman. But I was never taught how to love. So when she asked me to be her trusted mirror, I keep seeing other women as fairer. So I cut ties to her trust and love with the same acts I used to protect her. I then use the blunt end to drive the nail into the coffin, and it's our relationship. Yet again, I am an apple that kills yet another woman. When all I've tried to do was lay the foundation to build bright beginnings. But how can I build a home when the only tool this society have ever given me was an axe? It's like an AA meeting. Hi, my name is Dio. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. We start. Oh, that sounds good. I thought you were gonna get it. That's my vibe. That's my vibe. Before I start this poem, I must confess that I am an addict. So let's treat this like an AA meeting. Hi, my name is Dio. Hi, Dio. And I have a thing. I have a thing for old women. No. Hold up. Thank you. Let me get my bearings. Before I start this poem, I would like to confess that I am an addict. So let's treat this like an AA meeting. Hi, my name is Dio. Hi, Dio. And I have a thing for old women. Which really and truly is not the problem. You see, old women got this thing for me. So, if they're the coconut, I'm the jelly. If they're the dog, I'm the flea. Translation, I'm either on their back or in their belly. Look, before you start judging me, that's really and truly is not the problem, right? You see, this old woman got this thing for me, Charlie. Got this thing for me. You see, if they're the coconut, I'm the jelly. If they're the dog, I'm the flea. I'm either on their back or in their belly. No, you know what I mean. There's just this sense of closeness and mutual respect. Now, I never want to air out my dirty business, but I'm still reeling from my last situationship. You see, I was 24 and she was, well, let's just say it ends with a 5, right? Let's just say it ends with a 5. I was minding my own business, happy to be alive, until I got this message on Facebook. A mature woman telling me she likes the real love, and my smoker lights up a whole room. And young girls don't really get much compliments, so I spray that all on me like perfume. She says she's currently overseas, but she's coming home real soon, and would like to know if it's possible for me and her to meet. No, I said, to be honest, I ain't too certain. She said, Ma, you just seem like a really nice person, super sweet. She sweet me off my feet. I said, Ma, you know what? Ain't no harm in me and you to meet. So we met down lanterns. But when I saw her walking across the Corns Creek, I started to slur and stutter my speech. How could one woman be so conservative but so damn sexy? No skin ain't showing, but the dress showing every curve. From she bosom till she hits the waist. Man, she got a legendary coat bottle shape. Make me question this woman's age. Make me question if this woman is twice my age. Not a single wrinkle in this woman's face. I know I know black ain't black don't crap, but God forgive me, you already know what you're trying to think about doing to she back. And then she turned around and I saw her behind. No. She wasn't brawling. It wasn't brawling. It was biblical. You see, it was biblical. He's strength couldn't lift the lesson. This one box. See, and not even Jesus could have turned the other cheek. He would cut part in between. But that couldn't compare to when I first heard her speak. She said, young man, I am hungry and I intend to eat. You too. So we made some very nice for dinner because she was feeling a bit fancy. And when it was time, when we was done, she said, young man, put that wallet away. Dinner is on me. Let me show you how a young king's supposed to get treated. Whenever you hungry, come over, I'll make you something to eat. A modern woman with an old-fashioned sense of loving. And for the next few weeks, I was enjoying this pampering. I was enjoying this pampering. But something was bugging me. Because when I was in she house, most of these pictures I see got a man looking back at me. Definitely requires some questioning. So when I asked about said picture, she said it's about her late husband. Apologies. My condolences. She said she didn't know how to mention it, but she's been lonely ever since. She approached me, hand on shoulder. She's a black widow. I'm stuck in her web. Thoughts already racing through my head. Well, we ain't Jada, but this ain't about to be no entanglement. My performance was Oscar worthy. She surprised so quick, Dio turned to her cute and applied that pressure P. You see, this union was unholy. She promised me food and she had plenty to eat. She promised relaxation and oh boy did she succeed. Mission complete. Car closed in the driveway. Well, I guess that man do walk indeed. When she said her late husband not being home by 8:30 is not what I thought she mean. So I already started to block my escape. I hopped the gate, saved my fate, sweating from the heat. I can't believe this woman lied to me. She real crazy. Same thing next week. And even on days I'm doing a lot, I treat self-praise like a disease. I cleanse it from within me. I don't allow no room for complacency. I'll be damned if I don't live up to my destiny. I got dreams that keep me up at night. There must be nightmares. I fight fears and high tears for people I hold dear. They call me their strength. They don't know that I've been bent. I even broke a few times. I let none of it stop my grind. I'm robotic. I've been on my optimus prime, trying to turn idols into rivals so I can beat my chest and held my head high. And see, I did that. I want to run the world like Biggie and Pac. I want to liberate the people over hills and valleys too, but still the prison unlike Buju. I want to make music and poetry to make the world unite and fight against injustices. But what are my motives? To leave the world a better place? No, that motive is on the surface. What causes life in your crust and crevices? What's at your core? Let's get to the center of this. Is it honor? Respect? Duty? An effort to improve humanity? Nah, let's dig deep. Put your sins up for the world to see. Is it greed? Lust? Jealousy? Envy? A try to restrain a shred of your dignity? You see, your image is one that you always hear, but that's not it. It's fear. Not the fear of death. You're from a place where death is coming. The last time you saw some of your childhood friends, their casket was open. You've seen their family move on and forgotten about them. You've seen mothers use it as a coping mechanism. And deep down, you think it's going to happen to you. Aphnosorophobia. The fear of not being remembered. So I use the platform to my benefit, but I ask myself, do I really want them to love me back like they love Chadwick? That boy wasn't even buried yet, and they were feeding Marvel replacement ideas. I feel for his peers, being publicly nominated for a robo whipping their tears. It tears, layer by layer. The king's dead, the king's the dead. Who's gonna succeed the kings? Can I really see a hand that come to me? Kendrick, could I survive Lucy? Could I run away from 50 mil like Dave Chappelle? Because they've got what I want, and I have what they need. What do I tell them when they ask me the price for my soul? When they offer numbers that are higher than the lottery, will I stay true or sacrifice myself to lift my family out of poverty? What's the price of my soul? Will I half myself to make my loved ones whole? When you're the one, you got hungry mouths looking for you to feed them. One sacrifice and they all beat the system. One sacrifice liberates generation. One sacrifice forces you to remember me. But one sacrifice makes me a slave to this industry. This crown on my head is heavy. And if I keep wearing it, one day it may break me. It may leave a couple pages on the, there was a couple stains on the pages of history. Drug abuse may become my routine. Alcohol my remedy. The thought of that alone scares me. Regardless, kill me. What if I told you they didn't teach your rights in schools because it was easily used and abused? You're a labor. What if I told you a company's HR steals its job if the only currency the company runs on is made of paper? If they only implement policies to bring them more money, they didn't neglect their role and their obligation towards their employees. And these days, it seems that that's all they ever seem to see. But let's look at this situation more realistically. You see, the world shifted back in 2019. COVID put so many companies on hard times, and they did their best to survive. The lockdowns caused so many people to shut down, and some, you will never see their doors open again. So when it was finally time for the lockdown to end, society has convinced people that it was a blessing to still have a job, which was the final key to the door now for them to start abusing labor laws. And to those who won't accept it, well, they became easily replaceable because labor was readily available. So we began a cycle of hire and fire, where they kept people that fixed their systems, sticking them through unnecessarily long probations, and when it's time for them to come up with evaluation, they tell them that the work that they were happily receiving wasn't enough. So they stick them back in the probation period for another 3 months. They'll still reaping the work that their labor continued to produce. And at any time they can release them to little to no consequence. It is evident that in a time that companies operate below profit margins, the area they choose to cut costs is labor. Which result in one person doing a job that was really and truly meant for four. You give them all you have just for them to demand more. Meanwhile, your job isn't even secured. They will ask you to give your life and well-being to the company, and in return, they will give you pennies. A fraction of the money that your labor is set to produce. They will use you for the company's gain, and when they finally decide to add you to staff, you will find that their contracts was made with slave chains. They will construct a code of conduct that can only be followed by a robot. You will lose your voice faster than you can formulate your opinion. And if, and they do mean if, your workplace is lucky enough to have a union, you find joining it puts you on their blacklist. You will strike for your rights just to find out that your company don't even believe in compromises. Well, you and your peers became the exploited resources. Just because you give your labor to a company for a fee, doesn't mean it has to feel like slavery. But what can you do? You have yourself and your family to feed. What change can you really make when you're just another employee? I first saw her on PoeTree. For her attention, the other fellas compete. I'll be lying there if I say she didn't spike my curiosity. So, I went and took a peek. I was kind of confused by what I see. She lives her life on IG, puts her business out for the world to see. Her life is loaded with activities. Her favorite one's the beach, or so it seems. Larger than life personality meets friendly persona. She's very social, well, at least on media. She lives the perfect life. Vacations every summer. Her body looks nice. Not a blemish or a blunder, but beneath her smile, I can't help but wonder, what is she afraid of? A year later, I met her at a show. She's into PoeTree. Who would have known? My performance had her couldn't speak. Her curiosity piqued. She asked one of her friends to introduce her to me. She said she also struggles with herself when she's alone. A sweet girl juggling her heart when she's accident prone. We had a lovely conversation, so I saved her number in my phone. Now when she runs out of energy, she calls me to get alone. We hang out a couple times, now we're getting closer. Her world is a lot to carry. Sometimes I offer my shoulders. The connection is getting deeper. My questions are getting bolder. I could see the sunshine in your smile, but why? Why does it seem to got such sadness in your eyes? I told her to tell me the truth. What's bothering you? I could tell that your scars hide under the surface. I promise you, I wouldn't run away after I heard it. I could tell that she was hesitant. So often her history is being used as a weapon. Too many snake mouths told her what she wanted to hear, and she believed it, just so they could enter her chamber of secrets. I told her, Dio, let me tell you a story. That starts with years of trauma from an overprotective father and a passive mother who didn't see her much when it came to her daughter. They gave her more rules than they gave her love. So she did anything to seek their approval, which resulted in self-neglect. Got her feeling for attention more than she's feeling for respect. Got her going out more and wearing less. But I couldn't compare to what I heard next. She said for years she's been living a lie. Oh, for years she's been dying inside. She started crying and crying. She knew misery loved company, but why? Why do most days she feel so lonely? She said she can't go any place to find peace. I said you always post your happy place on IG. She said she never liked the beach, but bikini pictures got her more popularity. So she just gave the people what they wanted to see. Until she got a couple comments about her belly. Jealous girls started calling her chubby. And the guy that she was dating was reeling in the money. So instead of reconfirming her, reassuring her about her body, he convinced that girl to go and get surgeries. She's thinking, man, finally, I'm going to be pretty. Man, maybe this will make him love me. So she got her tummy tucked in Russia. Her breasts by Dr. Miami. Her lips in Asia. Her butt's Brazilian, but her insecurities are international. On IG, she has enough confidence to reach the moon, but in private, she can't find enough space to connect the two. So in public, she masks her face in makeup and cover her scented perfume. She's trying to erase her presence, but this outfit must get her noticed. That only means she's wearing next skin to nothing. She doesn't mind the thirsty comments. At least she'll finally feel wanted. One day it woke up and it scared her. She couldn't relate to what she saw in the mirror. What a cruel fate, becoming the very thing that she hates. A woman obsessed with her image who imprints on children, teaching them not to sexualize themselves is the only way they'll be held. No matter how much I pay attention, this doesn't seem to make sense. We all have friends like this, slaves to public opinion, and no matter how much we try to help them, it must start from within. Love comes from within. Respect comes from within. It must come from within. I've heard of open pastures where people grow faster. I've heard of gorgeous, green growing gardens where people get tulip and daisy. It must be Eden. Fantastic flourishing forests where bees pollinate them and you see harmony. Life without problems. Beautiful bunch bouquets of different colors, all friends, and even with my unworthiness, I long to live among them. See, I came from a different world. But our Dennis Huxtables never made it to college. Fewer opportunities left us with a lack of knowledge. I can tell tall tales that Debbie Allen won't direct. Unstomachable stories of kids killing each other for respect. Roses picked from garden place their flat screen window, a decoration of death. Predators pass. Dark flesh and white teeth. I can smell the heat on their breath. The carcass food for the soil. The soil I eat. The prices of fiber is high in these streets. 12 polymedes from golden gardens be a rose critique. Roses who've only known cold, crippling concrete. Their roots run deep on the ground, but suddenly find what they seek. What boulder stumps grow up like remote zones of being buried is their peak. They suffer in silence, they call you soft if you speak. The world's ignorance our disease, yet we keep our pain discreet. And murder be a rose fruit when pain secretes, stemming from hungry bellies. Because malnutrition is a daily practice. Drug abuse, a daily habit. Therapy is non-existent. Depression is matched with prescription. Regression with addiction. Conviction, oppression. To survive, we create victims. It doesn't matter the amount. Our petals fall off when there's a drought. Our thorns grow bigger, the viciousness comes out. Red rain of iron observing my roots. Luxurious fields are pursuits beyond the steps of white boots. At our seeds they shoot, bury them in the dirt, but nothing grew. Talk to them. Parasitic caterpillars bite our petals to help their cocoons, destroying their beauty and dignity too. But despite being petal deprived, we survive. Ironically, our own decay helps us to rise. Our survival is a caterpillar's surprise. So jealousy brings back the butterfly with questions like, how could something I damaged regain such beauty? How could you survive countless tragedies? How don't you want vengeance, just demand to be free? How can you be so strong it intimidates me? Or you found your roots when I'm taking bites out of your family tree? How dare you frighten me? I pause. Then I answer. I've watched you abuse your power. Your generational wealth stood over me like a tree. It towered, uprooting families and poor communities, building barred gardens to hold roses who see scream for daddy, raining bullets, a rose for each casket bed. Death follows innocence as they try to get ahead. And through these tragedies, I dug. So deep I found my metal, I rose gold. Now watch, the Kingston and Euro of my soul. Once broken pieces, no made whole. But infinity signs on my value. No concrete system is going to determine my altitude. Your laws are corrupted politicians, keep them, we don't need them. But in place to make me feel I can't provide the right nourishment for my seedlings. Unplug any television who over-sexualize and abuse my women.
Jesus, my son.
That abuse our women. We will stay burning to fight your oppression. We will burn this world down to its core to obtain freedom. And if I die today, if I die today, lay me on the graves of Nelson Mandela, of Rosa Parks, of Nanny Gregg, of Bossa. Lay me on the grave of Marvis Garvey. Let my seeds inherit my body, reincarnating in them all the fight I once had in me. Let them tell my story of a rose once bound in concrete, finally freed.